This project focuses on a important barrier to employment known as social anxiety disorder. So social anxiety disorder involves fear and avoidance of social situations, particularly situations where you're exposed to the scrutiny of others, where you might be judged. And when you think about it, employment is a place, especially finding a job, where you feel on the spot, where you feel under scrutiny, where you feel judged. So many people with social anxiety, they avoid job interviews, or they don't ask friends for help finding a job because they feel embarrassed. They are afraid that they might act foolishly, and they often don't want other people to think that they're having any struggle or hardship. So we found in some of our previous research that social anxiety is perhaps the biggest barrier among all the mental health problems in finding and keeping work. We had a previously funded project from the National Institutes of Mental Health that involved the design and development and initial testing of an intervention called work-related cognitive behavior therapy, or WCBT. What WCBT really focuses on is helping people overcome social anxiety-related barriers to finding and keeping work. And helping people overcome social anxiety usually involves two key components. One component is to practice what you're afraid of. So WCBT, which is an intervention placed at a vocational service center, in this case initially in Detroit, Michigan, where we ask people to confront what they're afraid of. So we do mock job interviews, and we pretend to ask people for help, and we do all sorts of practices in the community trying to confront challenging social situations. And that kind of treatment is called exposure therapy, basically practicing what you're afraid of. Also, people with social anxiety sometimes they have certain thoughts that contribute to their fears. They think that if they make a mistake in a social situation, it'd be terrible and awful, or perhaps they predict that things will turn out badly, so they don't even try to go on the job interview, or they don't even try to talk to a friend about finding a job lead. So those thoughts, or cognitions we call them, are the second target of WCBT. So this work-related cognitive behavior therapy helps people think more clearly about the consequences and the chances that a social encounter might go well or perhaps not so well. So we work on thoughts like, gee, am I predicting that things will go badly without much evidence? Or have I blown out of proportion how terrible it is to not get a job offer, or to talk to a supervisor and receive some critical feedback? So a person comes to a vocational service setting. If they're out of work and social anxiety is a barrier, they get the full complement of vocational services at a vocational service setting. And then those same professionals deliver these work-related cognitive behavior therapy sessions so that their social anxiety improves and they feel more open to ask others for job leads, more open to go on job interviews, and hopefully more successful interpersonally when they get on the job. So this project is now a multi-site project, also funded by the National Institutes of Mental Health, where we have two sites, one here at the University of Michigan, partnered with the Jewish Vocational Services, or JVS of Detroit. And there's another branch to the study at the University of California, Los Angeles, or UCLA, and they also partner with a vocational service center known as JVS in Los Angeles. So this is a two-site study where we're taking our earlier research, growing the population of people that we're serving, following up people for a longer period of time, and delivering this WCBT intervention in two settings as opposed to one.